would you like to start us off with a statement?
You know, obviously tonight is a disappointing loss for us. We certainly don't feel that we gave our best performance tonight and definitely didn't play well enough to win the basketball game. Credit to Alaska Anchorage. I thought they were pretty consistent throughout the ball game. Unfortunately, we didn't give them our best punch. But, you know, like I just told the girls in the locker room, obviously it's very disappointing and unfortunate that our season has to end on a loss. There's only one team that it does end on a win. But, you know, I certainly want to end this season and leave with the girls, just the run that we put on here this last 3-4 weeks and just the accomplishments that this basketball team has made. And I'm extremely proud of where we've come, how far this basketball team came from I'll go back to last year from when I first took over this program. And then even adding 2 new players this year in Tyler Turner and Issa with 11 returners. And you know, I've challenged them in so many different ways, and I'm just extremely proud of where we come, and we've made some accomplishments this year that nobody certainly thought that we could do, and they just really bought in and committed in particular to these last 3 weeks, and I'm really thankful and grateful that I got to coach this group of young women.
And then, Tyler, you were all over the floor tonight, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. What did you do to prepare for this game? What did you take advantage of?
I took advantage of what Coach was telling me, which was use my quickness to get into the teeth of the defense and then kick it out to my shooters. And that's really basically what we was doing. We were spreading the floor, spreading everything out, using my strengths, which is beating people off the dribble and getting into.
Tied at 17. What was the adjustments you made there?
Well, to begin the ball game, you know, there were certain things that they did actually that we had gone over, we had talked about, and we just weren't executing what we needed to do defensively. There was a couple switches that we did not complete that we should have. I thought they were getting the ball into Hannah way too easy at the beginning of the game, and so obviously that we let them gain the momentum right off the bat. But I will say we did respond. And we certainly came back, and then it was kind of going back and forth for a while. But, you know, just throughout the game, I felt like we were just a step late to so many things, and we just weren't as active of a defensive basketball team as we have been as of late. And that's obviously when we're at our best, is when we're extremely active defensively, and we just didn't make it tough enough on Alaska, and we didn't take them out of their comfort zone hardly at all.
One of the things we talked about with Ryan was the emotional intensity of this game. There's intensity in any game, but there was an emotional intensity. I think a lot of us sensed. I'd like for you to comment on what you sensed in terms of this was a different game than what you faced last night in terms of pace, in terms of pressure defense, in terms of just the intensity of it. I'm curious as to your thoughts of that tonight, and even from the players as well.
Yeah, I made the comment today. I don't recall who I was speaking to, but I did say that tonight's game was going to be very, very different than last night. I knew it was going to be much more physical. I knew the pace was going to be fast. We anticipated them picking us up, full court. So all the things that we anticipated. But as a coach, you can tell your team, you can show them film, but until you're out there on the floor and you're going through it and experiencing just how physical and how fast it is. And you're right, it's an emotional game. I mean, every single player out there knows that it's potentially their last game of the season and is potentially going to put them into the championship game of the region. So, it's what I was really trying to do, and even in the last 24 hours, is just keep them focused and really try to contain their emotions and keep them as even keel as possible. That's not always easy to do. But even throughout the game, I was just trying to keep their confidence and to keep fighting and to keep really competing to the very end. And like I said, unfortunately, we just came up short.
Can both of the players talk about facing a team that does come at you with the full court pressure, comes at you with 10 players and kind of does the hockey substitution where they have 5 in and then 4 come in to replace them, and it's 2 more people trying to come at you, full court. How do you guys prepare for that? Because you handled it very well in handling the ball and distributing with your assist turnover ratio. What goes through your minds as these players are trying to attack you as players?
I think it's just we come into the game with the same mindset as always. If it's a fast-paced, if it's a slow-paced team, we're just always thinking just handle it, keep your composure, be smart. play harder, fight harder, do everything we need to do offensively and defensively. And I just thought, we tried, but, they just fought harder and gave us, a bigger punch. And, we stopped short on things. We made a lot of defensive errors, and we just didn't pull out the win.
I think the pressure didn't. I don't know. I think the pressure didn't really bother us when they were doing the full court because I feel we're used to full court, me and my twin, and like when we got into the half court, it was different because they were all over the place, and it was just like. But we still had to keep our composure no matter what. But coach told us to keep spread, and when we kept it spread, that's when we were succeeding. But when we were all together and close together, that's when we failed, and it was that's when they just came out harder, and we just didn't come back, fight back faster.
The one thing I'll say to that is, as you mentioned, whether it be the full court pressure or we knew we were going to see, at half court defense, at the end of the day, we have 7 turnovers for the game. So again, it wasn't so much we were taking care of the ball. Our shot selection wavered at times where we didn't maybe force them to play half court defense enough. But as far as the full court pressure, these two in particular to my size, obviously the ball's in their hands a great deal. And I think between the two of them, they had 3 turnovers of our 7 for the entire game. So obviously they did a good job of that. As Tyra alluded to, this came down to our defense. This basketball game, there's no question it came down to our defense. And as Tyra said, we just had way too many defensive mistakes. And as I always tell them, when you have defensive mistakes, good ball teams are going to exploit you and they're going to capitalize on those moments. And Alaska Anchorage did that tonight.
An amazing moment in the game were the 2 steals at the end of the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that? What goes through your mind? What do you see? You go for one, then you get another one right after. What's that like?
Just fighting harder. We really just, wanted to make sure that we're coming off the half sending a message, and, we're not making sure that the other team is, giving us a message. And I just thought, that was what was going on through my mind at least, just making sure that, our team is staying focused and, we're all just staying on the same string and line and everything. And at that moment, I just felt that those 2 steals is what we needed, to come back in the second half and do better.
I felt that at that moment that the first half, they had the momentum, and so me and Tyra doing those 2 steals kind of got us like, okay, we need to pick it up on the defensive end, and I felt we all responded as a team.
It's really tough to come out of a game victorious when, the other team ends the game at 58% field goal percentage. It's just the odds of you winning that ball game are probably very, very slim. And again, that's why I go back to, and I think in the second quarter, they were 75% in the second quarter alone. And again, that's what this game was about for us. We just did not take them out of what they wanted to do, and we had too many defensive mistakes. For a team to shoot, again, credit to them. However, we didn't do some things that we needed to do.
And then just a question that kind of keeps going. Other reporters have asked. I'm kind of filling in with this one. Tough to finish this way. You guys battled and went through it, but looking forward to next year, kind of what's the outlook for Lumberjack League basketball?
Well, I've obviously only been at Humboldt State for 2 years now, and when I first took over this program, as I've said numerous times, this last year was just really about changing the culture and really kind of laying the foundation, and we did that last year. And now this year, the expectations were much higher, and we were picked 10th in preseason for our conference, and we definitely overachieved in that area. We put ourselves in a position to host the conference tournament. We win the conference tournament. So, like I said, when I go to bed tonight, I'm going to think about all the accomplishments that this team did this year and just be really, really proud. As far as moving into next year, we have 7 seniors on our basketball team, and obviously I'm very thankful I got the opportunity to coach those 7 seniors. At the same time, we have a core group that's returning, and what we'll clearly be adding a lot of players as far as on the recruiting trails. But we do have the core group back, and we just hope to continue, just like we went from last year to this year, the steps that we made forward and the progress that we made. The expectations are going to be even higher next year, and we got to continue to move the program forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.